Hello and welcome to this episode of the Mixtape podcast. This is where we take a deep dive into the inspirations and influences of my guest as I ask them to select 6 tracks for their imaginary mixtape. Track 1 is an attention grabber. Track 2 is a song they sing in the car or the shower. Track 3 is a cover version. For track 4, I'll ask them to pick a song they wish they could have played to their 18-year-old selves. Track 5 is a song they would use to woo someone. Track 6 is a track that my guest feels doesn't get the attention or recognition that it deserves. Track 6 is for Patreons only, so if you'd like to support the creation of this podcast, it's patreon.com/mixtape podcast, or you can check out the link in the description below. You can join for free or subscribe for as little as $2 a month. There's lots of other Patreon-only content on there, including the opportunity to ask guests a question and to have a personalised mixtape playlist curated by yours truly. There's lots of other ways you can support me, a like or a follow on social media. Again, there's links in the description for that. Or if you are listening on Spotify, you can smash the follow icon or you can rate the podcast. All of these little things go a long way towards growing the platform, and I really, really appreciate it. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy this episode. I've got to either start wearing a hat or get some new lights. That's what I've got to start doing, one or the other.
You've got such a good head.
Oh, thanks very much. That's very kind of you.
Good beard too.
A lot's happened since we chatted last. Yeah, I don't know if you were aware, but the first time we chatted, you were only the 3rd person I'd ever interviewed in my life. So yeah,
wow.
This is going to be about probably episode 70 now. So I looked up earlier. It was March when I put out your chat, and if I remember rightly, you just put out 100% Woman, and it was International Women's Day when we chatted last. So that worked. That worked quite well. I was well pleased with myself. All right. Okay. So let's do the actual interview. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to today's mixtape for KCR 102.5 FM and the mixtapepodcast.com. And today it is an absolute pleasure to welcome back for the second time the very first person I've interviewed twice. It's Delilah Rose. How are you, mate?
Hi, Mark. How you doing?
Very well, thanks. Very well. So we lost you, Delilah, about a year ago to Brizzy. So how's it been going over there for you, mate? And tell us a little bit sort of what you've been up to, and the Song Cafe and the Crap Song Club and all that stuff you've got going on over there. Tell us a little bit about how it is for you now over there.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. It's been about a year, almost exactly a year that we've been here. It's been really tricky, to be honest. It's completely starting again in some ways, because no one knows who I am. No one knows how famous I am over here. Not. So, but it's weird making new friends in your 40s. So we're lucky that we've got kids to sort of fall back on and, have a reason to talk to strangers at the park.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's a bit weird. But the music community here are beautiful and have really been lovely enough to give me a big cuddle and welcome me with open arms. So, and I just sort of hit the ground running. No, I thought I could hit the ground running, but quickly got a very slap across the face. I don't know if it was that. It was just a gentle reminder from the universe that you've still got to do the work, and that you cannot, no amount of social media and screen time can replace relationship, and that things that are worth doing and that have depth are based on good relationship. So I've been lucky to meet some really beautiful people here, and luckily the Song Cafe, has come from that, and they've been so supportive. And it's why I started the Song Cafe. So the Song Cafe is a Songwriters in the Round event, which, it's not a new idea. I've pinched the idea from the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville. And in Perth, there's an artist who does it as well. Helen Shanahan does it down in Fremantle. So it's yeah, it's not a new idea. It's a Songwriters in the Round event, and I've made mine for women, First Nations, and gender non-conforming. So it really just gave me an excuse to talk to people without it being creepy and say, hey, do you want to, I created this event, do you want to come and play at it? I'd love to meet you and play some music with you on stage. And it's been really great. I've really enjoyed, apart from meeting new people, just enjoyed getting singer-songwriters out of their silo. We get a bit siloed when you play by yourself all the time. So it's great to be able to, because we sort of jam on stage a little bit and sing along with each other's songs, even though we don't know them. We just, tap a tambourine or find a harmony line, or if someone can play lead, they'll jump in. So it's cool to just, mess around a little bit. That's been really good.
Yeah. And
Um,
Crap Song Club, I was
mm.
attracted to that just by the title of it, mate. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that. I thought, yeah, that sounds like something I could be involved in.
So, in another project that I do is called Australian Songwriting Retreats, and that is with Fremantle artist Rose Parker. And so we had begun that before I left Perth, and it is, we take people away on songwriting retreats and create workshops and day workshops and one-on-one sessions that you can do, and it's all about improving your songwriting. But we've just been trying to figure out how we do that from opposite sides of the country. And yeah, we needed to go online. And so that's how the Crap Song Club came about. Just trying to teach artists to get out of the way of themselves. We're really, really great procrastinators, and we're perfectionists as well. So it's a really great way to just step out of the way of both of those things and just throw some spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. So they have to write 4 songs in 4 weeks, and each week, sorry, they get a new prompt, and then they have to write a song, and then we meet in the Zoom room, and then they have to play their crap song, which never turns out as badly as they think.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the point.
So what are the prompts? Are they like subjects or styles of music, or is it just anything like
Mm.
that that you give people?
Sort of, it'll be a title or a subject, and then it'll be sort of, with some sort of format or direction. So I think the last one, oh, I'll look it up for you. What was the last one? The last title was My Favorite Mistake. And then I directed them by saying, find a reference track you love and reference it using the same or similar rhythm, song structure, or using the same chords. So yeah, and then they get a different one each week. So
Yeah, well,
this
okay,
week
so it's quite
about
specific. Yeah, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah. Oh,
mm,
that sounds great. That sounds great. Over the last year or two, been massively inspired by spoken word artists and just started writing. Sometimes things just pop into my head. I've pulled over in the car and gone, okay, a line came into my head the other day, and I was like, because the ADHD brain, right? If I don't
yep,
write it down right then, it's gone into
same,
the ether, right?
same.
So I pulled the car over and wrote it down. I've got like nothing really, any structure, just ideas and words and phrases. There's a UK artist called Scroobius Pip who doesn't make music anymore. He's an actor now, and he's a spoken word artist. There's an artist called K Tempest who I'm not sure you're familiar with.
Oh
She's
yes.
Are you familiar with Other Voices? The Irish. So it's like they have a different, so it's usually in a church or something like that in sort of rural Ireland, and they get artists
Mm,
to go there and play. And Clay Tempest did a 3 song set and finished with a cover version of Rainy Night in Soho by the Pogues, which was hands down the most emotional thing I've ever seen and heard. It was incredible. But yeah, and
mm,
then this Yard Act and like bands like that. I've been massively into spoken word lately, so I've been thinking about it's in me. It just needs to come out. I need to make it come out. And like you were saying, not procrastinate on it, just do it. And
Yes.
it'll be shit the first time, the second time, the 10th time.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It'll get better. I
Exactly.
know that. I know that. So yeah, I'm gonna try and collaborate with, because obviously I know loads of musos in Perth now since I've been doing
Mm.
this. So I'm gonna try and
Mm.
collaborate with some people and see if they'll, you know, do the musical side of it.
That's
I've
so
got,
cool. You're
um,
not alone.
I
Come
know.
to a Crap Song Club. You'd be perfect for it.
But yeah, I don't know if I could. I don't know, like if I write stuff that I might give it a try. I might give it a try. Yeah, it would just be a
You
good
should.
exercise. Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah. It'll be a
get
good
you get a
exercise.
topic. You don't have to sing
Yeah,
it. You can speak it. That's fine.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
you
yeah,
get a deadline. That's what us
yeah, yeah,
ADHDers need. We need a
yeah, yeah,
deadline.
yeah. 100%. All right,
Yes.
back to the interview.
Yes. Yeah.
The best interviews are ones where it's just a chat, mate. Like they're easily like the best ones. They're
Agree.
always come out the best. All right, I want to talk to you as well about the Holy Smoke. That is you,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
Because I wasn't sure because I've seen the track come up couple of weeks ago, and I loved it, and I played it on the show. And then
You.
I went to follow him on the socials, and I was like, "Is that Delilah Rose?" Didn't know she was doing that as well as being a mum and the Crap Song Club and the Song Cafe and solo
Mm.
artist and everything else. Yeah. So how did that come about? And yeah, how does that work? Is that's with Rose Parker as well, right?
Yeah, and Carly Rae. We got asked to play a show down in Edinburgh years ago. I don't know, like 6 or 7 years ago, individually as individual artists. And we were like, oh, well, if we're all there and we all love playing, why don't we just let's choose a cover each and we'll just play the covers after we've all finished playing. And we did. And I think the first song we played was Down to the River. You know, that old gospel three-part harmony song. And we rehearsed it in my shed in Bayswater, and it sounded so good. And we thought, we need to do it again. And sort of just as we played over the years, every gig we played, we got another gig. So we sort of just kept going with it. We've released 2 EPs, and but now we're literally at opposite ends of the country. Like Rose is in Fremantle, I'm in Brisbane. Carly Rae's just moved up to Kununurra because her and her husband are principaling a school up there. So yeah, I don't know if we'll ever play again together. Maybe the reunion tour.
You know, I really enjoyed the single anyway. So yeah, I wanted to ask you about that as well. All right, let's go into the mixtape choices then. So
Yeah.
right, so track one, attention grabber. What would you kick off your mixtape with if you were picking a song to grab attention with?
I really, really loving Margot Price at the moment, and her song "Light Me Up" is like a walk down memory lane. Like, first of all, it's a country song that's about the female orgasm. So I think that is just so cool. And then it parallels the Grateful Dead in style. And that's that classic 70s kind of flavor that I just love. It has such a great build to it, as a good orgasm should. So I think
There's the
um,
promo clip for the podcast. Thank you very much.
you can have that.
Cheers. Now I obviously didn't wasn't paying that much attention lyrically to the song because
Mm,
it grabbed my attention musically because the way it shifted, the tempo shifts, and the
mm,
it was yeah, I loved it. It was brilliant. Not familiar with that artist before, but yeah, who's the guitarist playing on that?
mm.
Do you know who that is? Because that was all, some of the guitar work on that brilliant. Like, is that her playing guitar as well?
I think that's her husband who plays Mark someone, I
Yeah, right,
think.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea if it's a song about an orgasm.
Well, yeah, probably best that he plays it. But whatever they're into.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Okay. Track two, Delilah, is a song you sing when you're on your own in the car or the shower. What did you pick for that, mate?
Oh, I've gone with Electric Light Orchestra, Mr. Blue Sky.
Mm,
It's a song that Usually if I'm in a bad mood, I play it. And if I need to hype myself up before I'm doing something, or I need to change my thought
Mm.
process or pattern. Yeah, Electric Light Orchestra. I saw them live with my dad back at the Perth Entertainment Centre, and it was just the best show ever. So it's just got so many great memories, but it's also like such a great song. And I just love ELO because of the breadth and depth of sound that they emit, and the changes and yeah, so good.
Classic song, and I think recently given a bit of a new lease of life and a new audience with the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. I was looking at that YouTube clip earlier before we chatted, and about 3 episodes ago, I chatted to Andy Scott from Sweet,
Mhm.
and he was saying that because obviously Fox on the Run is on that soundtrack as well, and
Yeah,
but he didn't even know. He was sitting in the cinema watching some other movie, and the trailer come on, and it was like Fox on the Run and Guardians of the Galaxy. He had no idea, yeah, and he was sitting with his son, and his son said to him, "Well, you're gonna do all right out of this, like." Yeah, superb. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, to be included in a movie like that, and not only in a franchise like Marvel, but like
yeah,
with for a movie that's known for having such like a banging soundtrack as well. Yeah,
yeah,
great choice, Mr. Blue Sky. Love that track. Brilliant.
yeah.
Okay, track three, Delilah, is
Track
pick a
three.
cover version.
Oh, mm. I went with Joe Cocker, A Little Help from My Friends.
Hmm.
Like Joe Cocker had the incredible ability to take a song that wasn't his and completely own it. And I think this is one of them. Like it makes me anything Joe Cocker make like I think his music comes out of my face. Like he has that and every time you sing it, it just makes my face like, oh, it's so good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do know what you mean. That's the second time that song's been chosen in that in that
Right.
category. I think it was Charlie Lane, who's a Sydney-based singer-songwriter, who picked that. And I said the same thing then. I'll say to you now, like he does make it his own, and he does
Yeah.
do a brilliant version of it. But vocally, he ain't up against much with the original. Do you know what I mean? Because not dissing the Beatles and that, but Ringo Starr ain't the best vocalist in the world, is he? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I could have
Yeah.
sung it better than him, probably.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But
Yeah.
that taking nothing away from what he's done with that song, because it is an amazing cover version. Talk about
So good. Oh my God. Yeah.
putting your own stamp on it. Yeah, fantastic, brilliant choice.
Yeah.
So what I do, Delilah, is on the radio show I'll be dropping the tracks in between as we're talking about.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
If you're listening on the podcast or on the YouTube channel, then there will be a link in the description below to Delilah's mixtape choices and some of her tracks as well from her album Moxie that I've got on vinyl, which I would heartily recommend. Bandcamp Friday is probably the best place to get that and the best time to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, superb album. Really been enjoying that, and I've played heaps of tracks off that on the show over the last year or so as well. Been really enjoying that one. Okay, track four, Delilah, is a song you wish you could play to your 18-year-old self. What did you pick for that?
I am a huge Rolling Stones fan, and I think it might have been last year, they put out a song called The Sweet Sounds of Heaven, and guest vocalist was Lady Gaga, and it's so cool. It's such a cool sound to have them both, such incredible artists, playing off each other. Like the story goes that she was in the building recording something down the hallway, as all the stories sound.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Mick did just say, "Oh, hey, do you want to come and step in on this and see what happens?" And
Wow.
it's so cool, the end result. And again, just all the face feels like that the blues does that. And with
Yeah,
those two artists together, just incredible. I think Lady Gaga is timeless, and I hope the Rolling Stones stick around. for a bit longer.
Yeah, I think with Lady Gaga, like obviously pop is her sort of her main genre, but it says a lot about her as a quality artist that she
Mm,
can sit in with a band like the Rolling Stones, probably the biggest, most well-known band in the
mm,
world ever, and produce a vocal performance like that is just, yeah,
mm.
that says everything. I think she, you can tell she's going to be around as long as they have been. I think, with talent like that, like amazing vocal. I really, really enjoyed that track.
Yeah.
And as well, like shout out the Rolling Stones for putting out songs like that, 60 years after they first started putting out records. Like that is,
Yeah.
obviously they do lean heavily on the hits and that when they tour and stuff, but to put out a
Yeah.
song and an album like that at that
Mm.
time in their career, that's why they've been around for 60 years, I guess, because they're that
Yeah,
good.
exactly. Exactly. I mean, and they could have written that, 60 years ago. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
again, like
yeah.
such a great track. And it's really cool they went on tour and they got Lady Gaga up on stage to sing the song with them. So that live version is, yeah,
Mm.
incredible to
Yeah,
see them
yeah,
bounce off each
fantastic.
other.
Yeah.
Mm.
What sort of stuff were you listening to when you were that age, Delilah? When you were an 18-year-old?
The Rolling Stones. I grew up on the Rolling Stones, really, and they've really stuck with me. And I think it's my dad was such a huge musical influence for me,
Mm.
and so was my mum. And so those formative years of like music were, from dad's side was ELO, Rolling Stones, Joe Cocker, The Eagle, Deep Purple, Santa, yeah, all of those. Whereas with mum, it was like John Denver, Neil Diamond, lots of gospel stuff, lots of church like songs. So those two things combined have really laid a really solid bedrock, I think. And I'm still there. I'm still, yeah, firmly
So
there, I think.
you mentioned Deep Purple there. Have you heard their new stuff? They've got a new album out as well, and it's really,
Oh,
really good. It's so
oh,
good.
really?
Yeah, no, it's great. It's well worth looking up. Yeah, it's really, really
Oh,
good. Again,
cool.
like the Stones, it's like a bit of a sort of a renaissance sort of period. Like they're really
Yeah.
put out some good tracks here. Some fantastic.
Yeah.
I played one I think 2 weeks ago on the show. Yeah, really, really good. Well worth checking out. All right.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
Track five, Delilah, is if you were making up the mixtape for like a romantic interest and you were trying to woo someone, what track
Mm.
would you put on there for that?
I went with a song called If We Were Vampires, and it's by an artist called Jason Isabel. And yeah, it's just about these two lovers that talk about death. Yeah, and I really, really loved it. I have a bit of a dark sense of humor as well. So if they didn't get my song, then I'd know they didn't get it. Sorry. Next.
Yeah.
I love vampires as well.
Right, okay, yeah, cool. Have you ever like back in the day, you're a similar sort of age to me, maybe a bit younger, make up mixtapes and burnt CDs for love interest? Has one ever worked for you or yeah? No?
No, not one. Not one
Never mind.
single one.
Never
But
mind, mate. Never mind.
I made a lot for my friends though.
Yeah,
Like
sure,
a
yeah.
lots of them had like Roxette and Martika and Baby Animals on
Yeah, yeah,
them.
yeah. Right, okay.
Yeah.
And finally, Delilah, now I'm going to throw you a bit of a curveball here because I was in a bit of a transition period when I sent you the tracks, and
Mhm.
I sort of dropped this track six in as something you would recommend to the next person on the podcast, but I've changed it back to what it originally was now, and that
Okay.
is a song that you think is sort of underappreciated and doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. So, what would you pick for that?
I think the opening song to Moxie is called I See You.
Hmm?
And I never ended up teaching it to the band, and I don't ever play it live. But I love it because it's first of all, I heard a little riff that sort of came from, oh, what was that 80s TV show where the girl dies? Laura.
Twin Peaks.
Oh, thank you. Oh, bang, Mark. Yes.
Julie
It has
Cruz, that's a great theme tune. That's one of the best TV theme tunes ever. That It's fantastic.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I see you has this like weird Twin Peaks like kind of feel to it, I think. And then it has that it builds much like the Light Me Up track from Margot Price with the double time at the end, like, and Alana does this sick like riff over it. And yeah, so it's one of my favorite tracks, but we never ended up playing it live much because it's quite slow at the beginning and a bit
Mm.
sleepy, but then yeah, once it gets going, it's hot.
Okay. And just to round things out, Delilah, future plans, what have you got coming up for the rest of this year, mate?
Yeah, well, the Song Cafe is a monthly event that happens at the Cave Inn, and it's just been funded. So I've been funded for 12 months, which is really great. Means that the event's free for punters, and I get to pay the artists and myself. I get paid, so that's nice. So I'll be doing that for the next 12 months. I have a producer friend over here lined up. I have a studio lined up. I just need to make some moolah, and I've got the next EP in my brain, and so that's my next plan. Trying to figure out how the heck to do that when you're a professional plate spinner of 15 plates and
Yeah. I feel you there, mate. Absolutely feel your pain there. I'd love to try and get you into the studio for a live session. If it's next time you're over in WA, if we can make it happen,
for
I'd really like to
sure.
get you in for a live session. That would be fantastic. Delilah Rose, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate your time, mate. Good luck with everything you've got going on, Song Cafe, Crap Song Club, and everything
Thank
else.
you.
Just shout out your socials. What's your Instagram and Facebook? Is it Delilah Rose Music?
It's just Delilah Rose music. Yeah. Yep.
What a memory. I've remembered that from over a year ago.
That's not bad. That's not
That's
bad.
pretty good, isn't it? That's pretty good. Yeah, and Bandcamp Fridays is always a good place and time to get your album and all your other stuff, merch and everything
Exactly.
else. Delilah,
Yeah.
cheers. Thanks very much, mate. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you so much for listening to the Mixtape podcast. All the links that you will need are in the description below. Link to my Patreon, my guest website and social media, my social media, and the link to the Mixtape tracks playlist as chosen by today's guest. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time.